Hey guys, nice to see you. My name's Jason, and this is another episode of Designer in my son's bedroom. Today we're going to be customizing type for your logo or packaging design, or really any design project you have. So let's get right into it. All right, so here we are, and we've got a fictional product label that I'm using for this example. Called Barber Pomade. I probably don't need to explain the label. It's just a hair gel, fictitious hair gel product. But I wanted to draw your attention to the words barber here. Now, originally, if we go up here, this was the font I started with, and I kind of modified it to get to that point. And I started with Helvetica New Condensed Bold. And there's lots of opportunities to modify that, but I do like using some of the simpler fonts without a lot of complex serifs to kind of start working with. So we're going to change that up, and I've made another artboard over here where we have, we're going to select that, where we have the word barber. And it's always good to make a copy of your work as you modify it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a copy there. And we just did that with the Option key, dragging it with our selection tool. And we're going to place the A with a U. So it says Berber. And I will show you the significance of that in a minute. And now that we're going to zoom in on Berber, and the first thing we're going to do is change our type so it's actually outlined, so it's vectors, and we can do that with Shift Command O, as you saw there. And now we've got a grouped vector together, and we'll just ungroup that with Shift Command G. And now our vector is ungrouped, and I'm just going to rotate this guy so it's the other way up. You can also easily go over here to transform and reflect. But you can also just hold the Shift key and rotate it around. Either sort of does the job. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw over our E here. So we have, we're zooming in tight. So we have like a replica of the E. I'm bad with font names, but maybe that's called a crossbar. And we'll drag this guy over here. We'll just make a copy of that. And now you can see that that's quickly becoming an A. And just to make sure we're lined up there, we will use our alignment tool. Now we have barber, and we've rounded the A. It's a common trick you can do with a lot of similar typefaces just by changing the U to A's. Now what we're going to do is we are going to make that whole by seeing our crossbar there, our letter form, and we're going to open up the Pathfinder tool, and then we are going to unite those. And then we have our letter A, and we can't forget about our B. We don't need to unite B. Nope, I guess we don't have that piece there. We don't need to unite B. Now, the next thing I've sort of decided is I am going to make another copy. Oops, that is not making another copy. We want to hold down Option when we drag out, not the Command key. And now we're going to go in close, and I've sort of decided for the purposes of this that I don't like these kind of little serif pieces on the edges of the R. So now we can take our direct selection tool, and we can select it, and we can see the anchors that we no longer want. And I'm just going to delete that. The anchor points there. I'll delete the anchor points there. By the way, I'm deleting these with a different tool called Path Scribe, but just regular your regular Illustrator tools will work. And then we've got kind of these two handles here, and we're just going to retract those handles, and now we will drag a guide out, and I must have guides hidden. Yep. We'll drag a guide out, and we'll bring that down. And we'll bring that down. And now we've kind of killed that serif. We'll go over here, delete this R, and drag this one over. So now we've added another change. So we're just going to select this guy, and we are going to make a copy. We're just going to hold down the Option key and drag. And now what we're going to do is we're going to select everything, and we're going to go over here to Object and then Path, and we're going to make an offset path. So we're going to make that around 4 pixels, I think. And we can always check with the preview. We'll see what I'm getting at in a sec. Now we've got our offset path, and we're just going to go back and we're going to grab these letters real quick. And then we are going to make them white, but we're still going to outline them with a stroke of 1. And now we have those, and we'll just grab our offset path behind that we're going to use as sort of a 3D effect. And then we are going to drag that out to around there. So here we are. And now that we've got our drop shadow, we can see we still got problems here. This overlaps. We have some poorly kerned letters. Tracking's off. Maybe we should have, now that I think of it going back, maybe we should have tracked our original type a little wider, but no big deal. We can kind of fix it the good old manual way. So there's probably lots of ways to do this. I don't spend a lot of time trying to figure them all out, as you can see, and I just kind of make my way through it the old-fashioned way. And the A is getting a little out of control there. And the B, kind of now we'll just bring in a guide to sort of line that up. And we're getting closer. And now we can just, I'm just going to group these together now and drag them out. We can do some manual kerning or tracking, or I don't know. I think people just like to say kerning in every case. And we'll bring this guy here and here. And you can see we're kind of closer together. Kind of check our top here, and we're even across the top and the bottom. I'm gonna bring that in. Oops. Bring that in just a little more. Need to ungroup you. There. Now it's ungrouped. Bring that in just a little more so it's not so ridiculous. Same here. And again, Command Shift G to ungroup an object. There we go. And we'll just kind of clean these up a bit. So now you can see it's come together. It's starting to look more consistent than it was before. And if we just group all of these now into single objects, I suppose you could just make a compound path. That works as well. We'll group those. And then we can use our good old alignment tools to kind of line them up so that there's accurate spacing. Never forget the alignment tools. And now we still have to do some manual kerning. And we'll just tighten that up. Okay, and for a final step, we will grab this fella, make a copy by holding down the Option key and dragging, and I'm just going to stretch these out a tiny little bit and maybe play with them just so they're maybe even a little narrower, a little more condensed. And there you have it. We're able to rapidly modify a font with a few tricks to kind of suit our own needs. There was like 4 steps. We changed the A, we deleted some serifs off the R, and we gave it a bit of a 3D effect. Now if we go back here, this is a slightly different color, and here is the finished product with our reworked font work. And that's a great way to, if you're working on a logo or you're working on any project like packaging and you want to bring your own element to type, you can. And there's just tons of great videos on YouTube on how to do this stuff, and I hope I helped you.